Please, attention. I just wanted to ask, who made this weapon? Was it you? Was it? No? Was it you? You? No? Okay then. I'm gonna ask again. Who made this gun? Was it you? It was you, wasn't it? Oh, I can tell the things I'm gonna do to you. Like pat you on the head and kiss you on the cheek because my god, this thing is good. It's like it was made for me. It really wasn't that hard now, was it? Hey boss, how about make an explosive gun that doesn't kill the user every time they pull the trigger? My god, Jameson, you're insane. I like it. Boom. Acceltra. Done. Now, that's not to say that the weapon doesn't do any self-damage, because it does, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, how do you get this weapon? Well, if you actually go to the market page for this weapon, it tells you. Blueprint for the Acceltra drops from the Demolisher infestation on Grenadier Galleons in disruption missions. You can also see that the weapon is pretty damn cheap. Some credits, a couple of neurodes, some xenon, a little bit of plastids, and some nanospores. It's really cheap to build. Now, the mission it's referring to, as far as I know at least, is the Infested Disruption mission on Uranus. And Demolisher Infested are the big beeping infested that come in once per terminal and try to destroy it. And they supposedly, according to the wiki at least, have about 1.5% chance to drop the blueprint. Now, the Acceltra, once you get it, requires Mastery Rank 8, it has really good crit stats with 32% crit chance, 2 times crit multiplier, really fast fire rate, almost no status whatsoever, does primarily puncture, followed by impact, and just a little bit of slash. Now, don't get this weapon to fool you, it is not an assault rifle, it is a rocket launcher in disguise. It's kind of like the bolter from Warhammer, in that it's kind of like a rifle, but it fires small rockets that detonate on impact. And as I mentioned earlier, the rockets will do self-damage, a truck ton of self-damage as well, but it doesn't really matter because of the way the weapon works. So at first glance, the weapon works exactly as you would expect. You press the fire button, you get a boom from the rocket. However, the way the rockets work is that they have to fly at least 7 meters from the barrel in order for them to arm. If they don't fly those 7 meters, they will still do their damage, but they won't explode. Which makes it really hard, though not impossible, to actually get hit by the self-damage, because what you have to do is fire the rocket, then bullet jump after the rocket and stand next to it, within 3 meters of it at least, when it hits the target. So that's the first cool thing, and yes, there is more than one. The second thing has to do with reloading. So at base, the weapon has a 2-second reload, so you press the reload key, boom, 2 seconds, reloaded. However, if you press the reload while sprinting, it will reload much faster. And even cooler than that, it doesn't just reduce the time it takes to reload, it accelerates the reload, so you can start sprinting at any point during the reload and you will still accelerate it. This is why in the beginning I said that it's like the weapon was made for me, because I love explosive weapons but I hate the self-damage. I'm a reload junkie, so I reload all the time, and I like sprinting, which is something that people always make fun of me for. I just sprint all the time, and more than that, I even use sprint speed mods on a lot of my frames. Now, before I go over the build, let me quickly address something right away, because I can already hear some spaz smashing his keyboard so hard it's raining Cheeto dust. No, I'm not using Argon Scope. Why? Because I don't want to. I just don't want to aim for headshots with this gun. I want to spray and pray. That's how I have the most fun, so that's what I built around. You can also see that I put in more Forma than you need, and that's because I tried multiple different builds, so all you need to do for this one is just add 2 Vs. Okay, fantastic. So the mods I have here are Serration for the damage, then I have Split Chamber for multi-shot, Point Strike for crit chance, Vital Sense for crit damage, and then I went with Vigilante armaments. Now the reason I did this though is because I'm going with a hybrid setup which works better without Argon Scope. If you are going with Argon Scope, just go full crit and use 90% elementals, okay? And then I have Thermite rounds for the heat and status, and Malignant Force combined with high voltage for corrosive and status, though this will be changed into gas and electricity if I'm fighting the Corpus or low-level infested. Now, as I said already, I did try multiple different builds on this just to see how it turns out, and yes, the Argon Scope setup where you go full crit with 90% elementals will do more damage, so if you want to go for damage, use that. And by that, I mean something like this. This is going to provide way more damage than the hybrid setup ever can, but you always have to aim down sights, you always have to hit headshots, and if you're just fighting one enemy, you're not going to get the crit bonus from bladed rounds. And I really didn't want to deal with any of that. I just wanted a fun explosive weapon that I can run around with and just be like, ah, while I blow everything up. And it still provides more than enough damage for the type of content that I'm gonna be doing with it, which is all you should really care about. Does it do the thing you want it to do? If yes, then good. There is, however, one thing about the weapon that's a little bit iffy, and that's the ammo reserve. It does not have a lot of ammo. You have about 3 mags worth of ammo, and once you chew through that, that's it. And with a weapon that fires this fast, yeah, you can chew through them very quickly. However, at the same time, it's also rifle ammo, which is A, very plentiful, and B, restores a lot of ammo per pickup. So it's kind of down to luck, because most missions that I did with this gun so far, I had no problems with ammo whatsoever. I was actually maxed out most of the time, but then I would go into a random capture mission and be out of ammo 3 rooms in because no rifle ammo has dropped yet. And if that's annoying for you, just take out Vigilante armaments and put in Vigilante supplies instead, which still has the overcrit bonus from the set, but it provides ammo mutation instead of multi-shot. So hop into the plains, farm thumpers for a little bit, and you'll have it in no time. And that is pretty much it for the weapon. It's just awesome. I would recommend it to anyone. It's definitely worth the grind for the blueprint. It's just amazing. I love it. And as always, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I shall see you some other time. Bye-bye.